Hi there, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter. Over the last few weeks, we've launched the first three in our series of brand new LiveAways programs. First, we brought to you Koh Samui Thailand, and it's an island very close to where I am now, followed by Madeira, of course, yet another island in the Atlantic off the coast of Morocco that's part of Portugal. And finally, just a few days ago, we brought to you Cyprus. And I can say that the response to these programs has exceeded even my own expectations. And I'm really thrilled that our members are so interested in this new form of travel, which allows you to get away a little bit, do something different next winter. And visiting these temperate or tropical climates in the case of Koh Samui, and bring our community to a new community and get to know some new people and new cultures, and all while having the flexibility of a program that enables you to do what you want to do more or less when you want to do it. So as I say, the response has been terrific. And in fact, a number of members have said, we don't know which one to choose. And so I thought I'd touch on a couple of the highlights and differences between them to give you a better sense of what might be the right program for you. Now, of course, a couple of people have signed up for more than one trip, so that's always an option. We're happy to facilitate the travel in between. But if one is enough for you, which one would you pick? Koh Samui, the first one that we launched, is a tropical island here in the Gulf of Thailand. And of course, you can imagine what it's like. It's coconut palm trees, beaches with turquoise blue water, and temperatures that are warm. As you can probably tell by the perspiration on my face at this time of the year, it's at least in the high 20s or low 30s. And so it really is a warm climate and a chance to explore a little bit of a different part of the world here in Thailand and learn a little bit about the culture here. So if you're a tropical weather person, if you like to be really warm in wintertime and explore a whole new part of the world here in Southeast Asia, then Thailand might be the program for you. The second one, Madeira, is an island off the coast of Morocco, and it's commonly known as the Island of Eternal Spring. And that's because it has mild temperatures pretty much all year round. In fact, you could liken it in February to what you'd find in Southern California or in the northern parts of Florida or like Savannah, Georgia. That's what you can expect in Madeira in February. If you're someone who enjoys stunning mountain landscapes, rocky coastline with precipitous cliffs and really amazing, it's probably the most picturesque of the three of the destinations. And it also offers the opportunity, but not the requirement, to do a lot of walking in the so-called levadas, the irrigation channels that come out from high in the mountains and in the past used to bring fresh water to the city. So if a program that offers a little bit more active, but not necessarily, I mean, of course, if you prefer to more of the quieter sightseeing trips, then that's available as well. But Madeira offers that. Cyprus, by contrast, is a little cooler at this time of the year in March than you'll find in Madeira and certainly in Koh Samui. Here you'd find temperatures more like around LA or, for example, Myrtle Beach in North Carolina. And so it has a more arid how should we say, geology, rocky. The waters are certainly swimming pool blue, but in March they're a bit cooler than you'd find in the Atlantic Ocean. So swimmable for some, but you definitely like to be a cold water person if you want to go swimming in Cyprus. If you're a golfer, of those three places, Cyprus is probably the best. Where we're staying in the southwest corner of the island has at least a half a dozen excellent golf courses. And so if that's on your agenda for the winter, then maybe Cyprus is the pick for you. So a lot of different things to know about those three places. So if you didn't see the webinars, the links to all of those, the replays are in the blog below. And of course, the brochure is available for download. I also mentioned in our last webinar that because of the great response to this new concept of travel, we're going to be doing on March the 25th, so that's roughly a month from now, at our usual time, Thursday at 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be doing a bit of future planning for our liveaways that we're going to look to offer at the end of 2022 and going into 23. And I think the 4 destinations that we're going to look at are, first of all, Bali, Indonesia. And of course, Bali will be familiar to many of you. It has a tropical climate like you'll find here in Thailand. But what it offers is a tremendous amount of cultural sites. Of course, it's very lush and green with these layered rice paddies, ancient temples, and they have an incredible degree of creativity. So the crafts and arts and all of the things that you find in Bali are truly, truly amazing. So we're going to be taking a little bit of a deeper dive on Bali. The second destination we're going to examine for the future is Malta, which of course is an island in the central Mediterranean between Italy and Tunisia. And Malta also has a very, very deep history. In fact, the capital city of Valletta is a walled medieval city and one of my favorite, one of the most stunning of its kind that I've seen in Europe. Also beautiful waters, but on the cool side, much like you'll find in Cyprus. The temperatures in the wintertime usually in sort of the mid-teens, but a place that one definitely could imagine spending a month of time in the winter. We're also going to look at a so-called outlier program, so something that you will probably not have considered. And we're going to take a dive looking at Colombia, which of course is a country in South America. And Colombia has had a very tarnished reputation from many years of grappling with drug cartels and, well, all the stuff that you already know about. But in the last 10 years, Colombia has completely transformed itself. And I visited Bogota, the capital city, a couple of years back, and I was astounded what an amazing city it is. Parks and green. It has a temperate climate all year round because although it's close to the equator, it's high up in the Andes Mountains, which keeps the weather simply beautiful all the time. So we're going to look at Bogota, and we're also going to look at the city of Medellin, which again has a bit of a dark history. But in recent years, it was voted the South American city of culture and is completely different than what it was even 10 years ago. So Bogota is the third one that we will look at. And the fourth in the series is Tuscany. And this is a program that we'd likely offer in the spring or the fall. We had a lot of interest for our Italian Villa program that's coming out next year. But we thought, why not spend a month in Tuscany? And so we're going to investigate whether we might choose to visit a place in the rolling hills of the Tuscan countryside, like a town like Montepulciano with the beautiful villas that are there where we could make side trips. Or we might stay in Florence, which is a city that hardly needs any introduction. And you could spend a month without even leaving the city limits because there's so many museums and galleries and amazing cultural things to do. So again, March the 25th, mark it in your calendar or sign up for the webinar in the blog below, and you can find out a little bit about what we're thinking ahead for our LiveAway programs at the end of 2022 and 2023. Our next webinar in our series 2 weeks from now on March the 11th is going to be Croatia, Slovenia, and the Adriatic coast. Of course, we have almost a full group this fall, but we're going to be introducing the program where we'll go in the spring of 2022, around the end of April or May, of course, on our beautiful yacht, the MS Bella. And so I look forward to talking to you about that. And if Croatia and the Adriatic coast interests you, then tune in for that webinar. So once again, all of your feedback, all of your interest in our programs is greatly appreciated. Of course, if you have another idea, and some of you have sent over some very interesting ideas that are all worth considering, I love to hear from you. I love to know the kind of places that you'd like to go and spend a little bit longer, and you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. In the meantime, have a great week. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think we can all see it now. We'll get back to traveling real soon. I'll catch up with you again next week.